The Buffalo Ranch McChicken, each just $1. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
Do you have inside knowledge of a story and think we should investigate? Let us know. Breaking now from Fox 17 News. Right now at 5. Fire tearing through a West Michigan mainstay, Fifth Third Ballpark, home of the West Michigan Whitecaps. After hours of live team breaking news coverage, tonight we have even more. The emotion.
We're going to be playing baseball again come April 9th this year. That I can absolutely promise everybody.
Our two youngest children have also worked here in the past, so, kind of a close connection to us.
Difficult to think that, a place you spent so much time and has such a big part of your heart, is going through this.
We're taking you up in the skies for a bird's eye view. We're going inside the investigation and delving into the future of the stadium, following a fire that can be seen for miles.
Right now at 5 o'clock, the new year bringing us a major story to follow. We've been working this one since late this morning. These are live pictures from Comstock Park as firefighters continue to put out hot spots inside Fifth Third Ballpark, a place that has seen its share of birthday parties, celebrations, and community gatherings. Tonight, part of it is destroyed. Hello, everybody. I'm Christian Frank. Tonight, one of the team's co-founders says the game will go on and that this won't mean an early end to the 2014 Whitecap season. This is new aerial video just into Fox 17 showing the scope of the damage out of Fifth Third Ballpark tonight. You can see the burned out shell, the office space and ballpark suites lining the first base line of the field. We will bring you more of this video throughout the newscast, but first, we want to get you on the ground. The smoke from the fire could be seen for miles. This photo was actually taken from the Gerald R. Ford International Airport in Grand Rapids. You can see that thick black smoke following in the distance about 15 miles away. And here's a closer view from inside the ballpark. This photo snapped just after the fire started to break out inside one of the buildings along the first base line. In only a matter of minutes, that fire would spread to engulf the entire building. We have live team coverage on every angle of this developing story tonight. Fox 17's Steve Ambrose shows us the impact on the Whitecaps season. Our Deanna Falzone is talking with fire investigators trying to piece together the clues as they work to find a cause. Troy Campbell is live to show us what it's like to fight a fire like this one, especially with the cold temperatures out there from the firefighters' perspective. But first, let's send it out to my colleague standing by outside Fifth Third Ballpark. And Janice, it's a day that fire crews and fans of the baseball out there will remember for a long time.
Christian, so many memories out here at Fifth Third Ballpark, whether you're used to coming here to support the Whitecaps or any of the concerts or festivals, the events that take place here throughout the year. I can tell you it's shaping up to be a very smoky and hazy sunset after that fire broke out some 6 hours ago. I want to give you a look. You can see right along the first baseline, several suites that were once there completely gone. Now a pile of rubble, ashes, and smoke. We have seen several hot spots here developing tonight, so crews are still on the scene. Here's what we know tonight. The fire began around 11 o'clock this morning in a luxury suite along the first baseline. There are questions tonight about the number of fire hydrants around the ballpark, that there were not enough for firefighters working hard to put out the flames. There were 30 people inside the building when this fire first began. The good news, they all made it out safely. Tonight, firefighters say sprinklers in the suite couldn't put out that fire.
I have shed a few tears today. It's really difficult, more so than I would have thought. I mean, in some sense, it's building and structure, and the heart of this organization is behind me, and yet it was still very, very difficult and very emotional for me. I do believe that this is going to be a time where our mettle is tested, as they say, but Lou and I are very fortunate with the staff that we have, many of which are behind me, and we believe in this organization, and I think that although we've got some difficult times ahead, to be sure, that we are going to survive this, and we're going to come out on the other end in a very positive and strong fashion. And the playing field's in perfect condition. The bowl of the stadium at this point does not look to be touched, and so we have every intention of playing here in April.
Certainly a very positive thought there after such a horrible thing to happen here at the ballpark. I can tell you it's very surreal. We've seen people pulling up in their cars to take pictures and just see for themselves exactly what the ballpark looks like now. We want to continue our live team coverage now with Fox 17's Deanna Falzone. She's been on the scene all day for us. Deanna, what have you learned?
Janice, like you said, crews are still out here. We're just a short distance away from where you are. If you take a look, crews are going to be out here for quite a while as they begin their investigation into what caused this. You can see some of those hot spots and the smoke still lingering out here. A lot of work ahead. Now, earlier today, we caught up with one firefighter who was first on scene, and he takes us inside what it was like to fight a fire like this. As the flames lingered, crews fought tirelessly to keep it under control. The smoke pouring from the roof could be seen from miles away as far as Cedar Springs.
Just seeing the smoke billowing out of so many games I've been to and stuff, and then we decided to come up here to get a closer look, and it's unbelievable.
Dustin Perrell says he just had to see it for himself, left in shock as he stood just feet away from the blaze with his family.
Grew up coming to games here and went to tons of games with my great-grandpa growing up and stuff. It's just hard to see something like a landmark, like something part of your childhood, just go away.
There were 5 departments on scene, around 50 firefighters. Assistant Chief Steve McKellar with Plainfield Fire was one of the first to get inside.
We went up the center stairwell, had a couple crews up there. The fire got intense. We backed out, started attacking the fire from the outside of the structure and also from the seating area of the structure.
It all started around 11 a.m. One of the some 20 employees here says the fire alarm went off. Officials say the fire started in a suite and grew quickly.
Spread into the attic area, and once it gets in the attic, it tends to move pretty fast because it has a lot of oxygen in there.
The structures up the first baseline, including 11 to 12 suites, the concourse and clubhouse, engulfed and destroyed. The flames just missing the offices.
Getting the fire from the home base seating area, so it was a very intense fire.
One of the most intense fires McKellar says he's seen in his 33 years.
It has a sprinkler system in here, but the sprinkler system actually was overwhelmed by the fire. Had a lot of heads pop and started flowing, which didn't have enough supply until we got a Alpine Fire started pumping into the system, and that started to help.
Although McKellar says the complex meets minimum code, changes need to be made.
We only got 3 fire hydrants at this complex. Back when this complex was built in the 90s, that met code. With the new codes, it would need more fire hydrants, and plus all the fire hydrants was located on the third base side,
making it even tougher for crews as they laid hoses and worked to fight it. But despite the struggles, McKellar says it could have always been worse.
It went down, nobody got hurt. We were very safety conscious, kept the guys out of the collapse zones, kept accountability where they all were. We knew where they were, how many were in, how many were out of the structure. So it went very safe.
Now again, they do meet code despite only having a limited number of fire hydrants. They meet code by the sprinkler system they have installed here, but the fire chief telling me he will likely require more hydrants after going through what they went through today. And again, this investigation, the chief telling me, could take several days as they try to figure out just exactly what caused this fire. Now let's send it over to Dave Spencer, who was on the field to get a look at the damage from that perspective.
I'm standing in the right field portion of the stadium, right over the deck, one of the concession stands here. But look behind me and you can see this is where the majority of the damage happened. There's actually some flames still flickering on the very upper portion of the bleachers there. Icicles below that, quite a contrast to what firefighters have been dealing with today as the smoke still billows from the damage that happened. If you pan a little bit over to the luxury boxes, that's what it used to look like here at Fifth Third Ballpark before this fire broke out. Fire crews still on the field right now, loading up the hoses, trying to put out the hot spots as they flare up again, obviously have their work cut out for them. Pan on over to the field now and you can see this is a big reason why ownership is so committed to getting this field ready for opening day. They say that as long as the field remains untouched as it is right now, there will be baseball played come April. But panning back over to the damage again as the firefighters go through trying to do whatever they can. You could see bathrooms have been destroyed, the concourse level have been destroyed, luxury suites destroyed. A lot of work ahead of them, work that they plan to get to as soon as they possibly can. And we'll have much more coverage from Fifth Third Ballpark. For now, we'll throw it back to you.
All right, Dave, thanks for that. There are a lot of memories in that park, both on and off the field. And now we go back to Fifth Third Ballpark, where Steve Ambrose has been talking to the team past and present. Steve, a lot of memories out there for sure.
Yeah, Christian, I got to admit, I've been to many ball games here at Fifth Third Ballpark working, and this is just really difficult to see. This is one of the finest ballparks, not only in the Midwest League, but in all of minor league baseball. Really, it might just be the crown jewel of the Midwest League. It is no coincidence that the Midwest League chose West Michigan and Fifth Third Ballpark to be the home of its 50th Midwest League All-Star game. I want to go ahead and, okay, right now, I talked with Devin Travis and Jeff Holm earlier today, two guys that had played with the Whitecaps during this last season, guys that had a lot of success with the Whitecaps here, a lot of great memories. And as I talked to them, each one said, when it came to the Midwest League, Fifth Third Ballpark is the best of the best.
I mean, really, I've played in some cool stadiums, you know, in my short career, and then there have been none that have really compared to, you know, the atmosphere up there in West Michigan. You know, once I left there, it was almost kind of like bittersweet. You know, it's just, you know, going up a level, but at the same time, it's like, man, I don't really want to leave. I mean, this place is just everything that a baseball player can dream of. Whenever I talk to people about baseball, I always say that, you know, up until now, that's been the best place I've played. So, you know, those fans, it's tough for them, but I saw something that they're going to try to get it rebuilt by first pitch, and you know, I hope with every ounce that they can do that, because that would be a shame to miss out on such a great venue.
Yeah, Jeff Holm, Devin Travis, two All-Stars here. And to give you an idea of how close this hits to home for them, I'm going to have us zoom in a little bit. And as you can see, as we're zooming in, there's a door back there. That is the door to the Whitecaps clubhouse. The clubhouse, of course, pretty much gone now with the rest of the damage to Fifth Third Ballpark. It's just an absolute beautiful ballpark for a great program, a great team that obviously doesn't have a manager in place right now, or at least one that has been announced, Christian. Source tells me that the Detroit Tigers have decided on a new manager for the Whitecaps. They were going to make the announcement soon after the holidays. They had the decision settled before Christmas. They were going to make the announcement after the holidays. Want everybody to get back, get all the I's dotted, the T's crossed. Now, with the ballpark in the shape that it is, the focus is on the ballpark, getting the Whitecaps ready to get going on their season, and they'll hold off on the announcement on a new manager and get going on that after everything's situated, with the ballpark.
All right, Stephen, let's talk about the All-Star game that's coming up, the Midwest League All-Star game. It was scheduled to be here, the 50th anniversary, and they were adamant that it's still going to be played here.
Absolutely. You hear it from the Whitecaps. They are determined that, and from the Midwest League, this is going to the All-Star game is going to be taking place here. It's a fantastic event for any organization to host, and for the Whitecaps, it isn't going to be their first one. I believe it's going to be their third All-Star game that they've hosted here. But obviously, the significance of this one is that it's the 50th All-Star game. And like I said, it's no coincidence that they chose Fifth Third Ballpark for that event, because it is just such a beautiful ballpark. And obviously, the hope is that the ballpark can be pretty well put together back in time for this All-Star game, but obviously time will have to tell on that to see what kind of damage is done here and how quickly they can get going on rebuilding it.
Yeah, a lot of work and a lot of winter to still go through. Steve, thanks for that report out there.
Absolutely.
So what do you do when you see a Grand Rapids area icon going up in flames? Fox 17's Nicole DiDonato talked to some of the first people who saw something going terribly wrong in Comstock Park.
As the smoke begins to clear, the realization is beginning to set in for families who have spent years here at Fifth Third Ballpark.
I was concerned about her safety, because they said it started in the suites. That's where her office is.
Worried about their niece, Janice and Jeff Morris rushed to Fifth Third Ballpark. The pictures on the news were devastating, but to see it in person was heartbreaking.
Kind of a close connection to us.
The ballpark, still decorated with Christmas-like displays, was overcome with smoke. Orange flames could be seen from US 131. The smoke even further, from miles away. All while the Morrises waited anxiously of word from their niece.
I was supposed to go to lunch with her mother today, and she called me back and said she's okay. I finally got a hold of her, because she was, of course, a little upset because she couldn't get a hold of her. And she said she was okay, but her phone was in the office and she couldn't get to it because of the fire. Just worry about my niece's job, I guess, you know, if it is devastation to her. I hope that she keeps her job. I hope they rebuild, and I think this is a good area for it.
And families just like them are wondering what will happen to their loved ones' jobs. At Fifth Third Ballpark, I'm Nicole DiDonato, Fox 17 News.
And I know seeing the smoke downtown, a lot of people, first thing they did was pick up their smartphone, hit Fox 17 and watch our streaming broadcast. We have tens of thousands of people that were watching our live coverage when it first broke. And Kevin Craig, out of the weather department, was down there doing some great reporting on the sidelines.
Absolutely. I was watching it at home. I couldn't turn it away. It was absolutely incredible, just mesmerizing to watch everything unfold.
Yeah.
At Fifth Third Park.
Scary situation for sure, but it had some implications for weather too.
It absolutely did. We had the winds pretty brisk from the south, but we could actually see this fire on Doppler radar. Take a look at this. This is a time lapse over the past 6 hours, and when we get back to 11 o'clock, watch Comstock Park and points north. You can tell that the smoke plume was getting blown from south to north thanks to those gusty winds. We're going to start this back up and put it back into motion. Right about here is Fifth Third Ballpark. And you'll notice this plume of smoke right after the fire started, which was just after 11 o'clock, and it goes all the way up to Cedar Springs along M46 and Apple Avenue. Absolutely incredible. Something the firefighters were dealing with this morning, in addition to the wind, were the brutally cold temperatures. This is a look at morning lows. We dropped down to 9 below zero in Grand Rapids. That's the coldest it's been in 3 years. 9 below is also our temperature in Kalamazoo. Look at this, 12 below in Battle Creek, 15 below zero this morning in Coldwater, and even along the lakeshore, temperatures were below zero. It was 7 below in Holland and 12 below zero this morning in South Haven. An amazing recovery this afternoon, almost 30 degrees in fact in some spots. It's 15 currently in Grand Rapids, 12 in Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, and 15 currently in Holland. These winds are picking up. South winds now 15 to 25 miles per hour with some higher gusts. That's going to allow temperatures to rise overnight tonight. But you can see wind chills are still below zero across much of West Michigan. These winds aren't blowing in any snow tonight, it looks like. Live Fox 17 radar is showing dry conditions, but we have some big issues on the way for the second half of the upcoming weekend. All of these counties in blue, which includes a good chunk of real estate here in West Michigan, under a winter storm watch. Looks like some areas, especially along and south of I-94, could end up with over 6 inches of snow. Now that starts tomorrow night and continues into Sunday and Sunday night as well. All of West Michigan under a wind chill watch starting Sunday, and this is for wind chills that could be as low as 35 degrees below zero. Again, this starts tomorrow night, overnight tonight. Other than the wind, we don't have much going on. Rising temperatures, in fact, will be right around 18 degrees first thing in the morning. We're going to talk all about the wicked wintry weather that's coming to West Michigan coming up in just a few minutes.
Oh, those cold temperatures. And Rick, we have just confirmed into the newsroom the source of that fire at Fifth Third Ballpark. Officials are telling us it was indeed a space heater that started that fire today at the ballpark. We'll have more on that coming up. And new details in the case surrounding that missing Kalamazoo doctor. What a personal protection order against her reveals, and what the well-known person who filed it claims the doctor has done to him. And in just minutes, we'll take you back out to Fifth Third Ballpark for another set of live reports. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 17 News. A beautiful crisp day or a heavy snow. Whatever West Michigan decides to throw at you, know what's coming with a Fox 17 forecast. Fox 17 has more hours of local news than any other station, and more hours of news means more chances for weather. If you're getting up the first time you hit the